day, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. On the C7 MiniatureMisinformer, the internet melts down over Ultramarines. Again, as a growing faction of fans demand even more blue boys in the galaxy. That's right, the community is protesting not for diversity, but for more Ultramarine sprues. Truly, we are living in historic times. And in other news, Games Workshop announced Warhammer Darkwater, a brand new boxed experience described as swamp horror meets dungeon crawler meets someone clearly watched Pirates of the Caribbean at 3 a.m. Spoilers, it's wet, it's spooky, and the pre-orders are already gone. So grab your brushes, hold your blue paints close, and prepare for the only tabletop news show where this specific episode is 60% fabricated, 40% facts, and 100% is questionable. This is the C7 MiniatureMisinformer. Hobby scandals. The Ultramarine Uproar of 2025. Social media erupted this week as a movement called Ultramarines Deserve More hit critical mass. Thousands of players rallied online with hashtags like More Marines Now, Blue is Justice, and Make It Ultramar Again. The cause? A complaint that the recent Warhammer previews didn't include enough Ultramarine content. I repeat, not that there was too much, but too little. Fans are demanding 5 new head sprues, 3 new lieutenants minimum, a Primarch update, a Gilliman holiday sweater, and a limited edition Marine who poses dramatically at a cliff's edge. Meanwhile, other Space Marine chapters are protesting that they exist too, but nobody seems to care. Warhammer Darkwater pre-release complaints. Despite being sold out, the fandom is divided. Half the players are hyped for swamp-based campaigns, drowned undead, Nurgle-adjacent horrors. The other half are furious because the water effects aren't canonically accurate to the 41st millennium. Someone on Reddit even wrote a 9,000-word essay titled Tides of Heresy. The Great Contrast Crisis. Reports indicated a shortage of blue paints across the globe due to, the Ultramarine uprising. Citadel's Calgar Blue is now going for $28 a pot on eBay. One user's attempted to sell his entire pot on Etsy in a tiny velvet bag labeled Monsterpocalypse Studios accidentally spoils their own release. Privateer Press accidentally leaked a new monster on their official site when someone updated the wrong image file. For 6 glorious minutes, fans saw what looked like a kaiju-sized hamster with missile pods. The community's reaction was immediate. Is this real? Is this a joke? I would absolutely field this. Privateer Press took it down and offered no comment, which only fueled the conspiracy. This week's Community Watch. Warhammer World Champion Drama and Glory. While Adeptus Mechanicus took the trophy, the community is still buzzing about the post-game interview where the champion said, and I quote, "The Omnisaya guided my dice. Also, I forgot half my stratagems." Firelock Games expands Brigands of Arja. The team behind Blood and Plunder announced expansion rules for Brigands of Arja, including mutated swamp beasts, corrupted island spirits, and a rule update clarifying that, yes, you can absolutely dual-wield machetes while screaming. Mantic Games Deadzone beta rules. Mantic dropped a new closed beta for Deadzone upgrades, promising faster play, fewer tokens, and more explosions. Testers say the new rules make the game 20% smoother and 80% louder. Battletech Merc Faction app gets a patch. Catalyst patched their app, but accidentally erased save campaigns for some users, forcing dozens of commanders to emotionally relive that time your mech's leg blew off for no reason. Brush tips nobody asked for. Tip number 1. The Ultramarine Layer Hack. If you're tired of painting blue armor, try this pro technique. Don't. Tip number 2. Speed painting for people who hate speed painting. Paint one model at a time. Not the most efficient method, but it prevents the existential crisis that comes with batch painting. Tip number 3. Water effects. The lies we tell ourselves. If your water effects look cloudy, it's not your fault. It's humidity, or chaos, or Nurgle. Never blame yourself. Tip 4. Highlighting metallics the lazy way. Dry brush. Always dry brush. Even if a professional painter tells you otherwise. Especially then. Bonus mental hobby tip. Remember, your pile of shame isn't shameful. It's a backlog of potential. And by potential, I mean stress. And now for our commercial break. Calgar Blue Collector's Edition, Trademark Incorporated. Running out of ultramarine paint? Fear not. Introducing Calgar Blue's Collector's Edition, bottled directly from Robotute Gilliman's Tears of Disappointment. Darkwater Energy, Trademark Incorporated, the only energy drink that bubbles, glows faintly green, and whispers your name at night. Darkwater Energy, feel the tide of the warp. Pile of Shame Insurance, Trademark Incorporated, worried your partner will find the receipts? We'll cover the evidence. Board Game Glue, the relationship saver, Trademark Incorporated, for every couple that nearly broke up assembling terrain together. Events and exposés. Warhammer Darkwater Deep Dive. Leaked details suggest the campaign features varied terrains and locations, Nurgle-infested sea monsters, and drowning rules that are surprisingly fun and legally distinct from D&D. Ultramarine Uprising continues. Games Workshop reported considering a Blue Wave release featuring new Ultramarine specialist units such as Tactical Marine with bigger shoulder pads, Lieutenant with extra determination, and a Librarian of slightly brighter blue. AdMech data slate rumors. Inside whispers that AdMech is now in line for a faction overhaul, featuring simplified doctrinas, the buffed Sikatari walkers, and an ability called Blessing of the Spare Parts. 500 world narrative set incoming. Games Workshop teased additional missions, more Marines, and of course, more blue. War Machine. Iron Kingdom's big reveal. Privateer Press previewed arcane engines, giant spellcasting constructs that somehow don't topple over despite being 80% decorative spikes. Warlord Games, Bolt Action, Vikings. Warlord teased a mysterious silhouette that suspiciously resembled a berserker with an SMG. We don't know what it is, but we approve. Come on, Massive Darkness 3 rumored. Leaks indicate double-sized bosses, 6 new classes, and a campaign mode called Oops, All Skeletons. Stargrave, new alien mercs. Joseph McCullen dropped a teaser pack of new mercenaries, including gelatinous negotiators. Their diplomacy skill? Absorption. Rotating minigame. 1-star hobby reviews. Alright folks, welcome back to this week's rotating minigame, and today we're diving into 1-star hobby reviews, where we read some of the most unhinged, unnecessary, and occasionally spiritually concerning 1-star reviews from around the hobby world. Real? Fake? Who knows? Who cares? And let's go! Review number 1. This primer ended my marriage. 1 star. This spray paint primer ruined my marriage. I shook the can for 2 full minutes like the instructions said, but apparently not the 2 minutes my wife wanted me to shake it for. The model looks fine, but the relationship never recovered. Honestly, relatable. Shake your sprays, folks. Shake your relationships. Keep the hobbies and the marriage alive. Review number 2. The dice are cursed and I want a refund. 1 star. These dice rolled nothing but once for an entire game of Age of Sigmar. I contacted customer support demanding an exorcism. They told me to get good. Well, never buy again. Fair. Customer service should at least attempt an exorcism. Review number 3. The mini broke my soul before it broke its sword. 1 star. This resin model arrived with a bent sword. I attempted to fix it with hot water and instead bent my will to the hobby gods. I'm a different person now. I see mold lines in my sleep. Every resin collector nodded just now. You felt that in your DNA. Review number 4. This terrain tile offended my family. 1 star. I bought this MDF terrain because it listed saying easy assembly. I was 6 hours deep covered in PVA glue and my 6-year-old declaring I was a disappointment. The tile looks great, but my family hasn't looked at me the same since. Honestly, this is the most realistic one so far. Review number 5. Too much plastic, not enough happiness. 1 star. Bought a new army box because I thought it would bring me joy. It did not. Now I have 83 more unpainted minis and a deep sense of personal responsibility. Welcome to the club, my friend. Welcome. Welcome to the pile of shame. And that concludes this week's 1-star hobby reviews. Remember, everyone's a critic, especially people who don't know how to assemble MDF terrain. Now let's get back to the episode. Predictions and closing remarks. And now predictions for the coming week. Ultramarine Uprising will escalate until Games Workshop announces yet another lieutenant. Warhammer Darkwater leaks will show a model so cool it instantly becomes sold out until 2031. Privateer Press will reveal that yes, the missile hamster was real all along. Someone will discover a new way to break AdMech, and Reddit will declare the game unplayable. And at least one hobbyist listening right now will start a new army this week, even though they promised not to. Like, subscribe, leave a review, and remember, if the news sounds too ridiculous to be true, it's probably Games Workshop. This has been C7 MiniatureMisinformer podcast, reporting the tabletop wargaming news you didn't know you needed, because it isn't real. Maybe. Possibly. Maybe a little.